Okay. The Walking Dead returns for its second week in its seventh season. And of course, we knew this was going to happen. Everything that happened in the premiere with Rick and Glenn and that whole mess is left hanging. We are left hanging, and we go to our other heroes, Morgan and Carol. Carol was hurt and rescued last season, and there was some dudes on horses, and we didn't know quite what was going on. But Carol is taken, and Morgan, they're taken to a place called the Kingdom, and this is a really big fortified area with livestock and gardening and everything else, and just kind of a little utopia, even more so I would say than like Alexandria. Um, Especially because it's got a bunch of dudes on horses with guns and spears and stuff. So they're not living in sort of a lie like the Alexandrians. The kingdom seems to know what's up. The catch is there's a king, King Ezekiel, and he's got a tiger. And actually, it's a CGI tiger, but it really does look good. I'm impressed with what AMC's done with the tiger Shiva, um, because it's such a risk, in a show like The 100 when they bring in the gorilla. It's just doesn't work, and it works here. And I think that's because they don't try to do too much with Shiva. They leave her as they have a couple good moments, but it doesn't occupy too much screen time. So the budget was there for it. Ezekiel is the best new character that this show has gotten in ages. I have not been happy with Negan, but man, I love Ezekiel. First of all, I love his fake king persona. He speaks like a Shakespearean actor, and he talks about in antiquated language and prefers to be called Your Majesty, and it's it's all a show, but it's a great one. You think maybe he's crazy at first, but later he reveals to Carol, who hates everything about this place for some reason, he reveals to her that he is also, like her, putting on a persona, and he's doing it not for himself, well, not only for himself, but for the people who follow him. And actually, that scene with Carol, when she's trying to leave and he tries to help her, is really one of the best, like, character development moments, I think, in the show in a really, really long time. So that's kind of cool. I was surprised and impressed, and really I would say that surprised and impressed describes my reaction to the entire episode. I will normally have so many things to complain about when it comes to The Walking Dead, because there just seems to always be something that show does that doesn't make sense or is strange. But yeah, Ezekiel and the kingdom, and the tiger, and his real personality compared to his persona, the way they fed the pigs walkers before paying tribute to Negan and the Saviors, and that whole scene between the Saviors and the men of the kingdom, men and women, I should say. That was great. I mean, really just like a really solid episode. And I wasn't super happy with the season premiere. It was, I described it as torture porn and got yelled at for that, but this was good. And while I still worry that there's going to be too many characters to follow and too much stuff to pay attention to, overall, I would say that the second episode of season 7 is one of the strongest episodes in a long, long time. It was nice to have some comic relief. It's nice to have a new character that I really like. And I really do like Ezekiel. I think he's a great character, and I hope we see a lot more of him. And it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Carol kind of annoyed me. She's been on my nerves lately, and her just inability to just sit still and be okay kind of bothered me at first, but really by the end, when it kind of turned out, that why don't you try going and not going was Ezekiel's plan, and she basically is allowed to move into her own little cottage just outside the borders of the kingdom, to be alone. And maybe that is ultimately just what she needs right now, is to be alone, and we can all relate to that. So good episode. I also enjoyed one last thing. I enjoyed Morgan saying, I don't know the exact line, but "You're my favorite person that I haven't knocked out yet." Or something like that. Anyways, it was a cute moment, and it's nice to see, in a show that has become so bleak, it's nice to have these human moments, these touching moments, and some funny moments. And so, boy, I hope we get more like this. I hope we get more with these new characters, and I so far I'm enjoying the Kingdom a lot more than the Saviors. They're just such cartoon villains to me still. But, anyways, that's my take on the second episode, and you can read my written review at Forbes. Thanks for watching. Peace.